Do you ever wonder if you are more of an Eastern thought or a Western thought kind of person? Well, let's find out. I'm Jam Kanha together with my partner Paul Kagiowa. We will discuss the Eastern and Western concept of the self. Without further ado, let me start with the Eastern concept of the self. The self is an illusion according to Eastern philosophies. The conception of happiness is very much present-oriented. Now, the Buddhist conception is all about the peace of mind that results from letting go of desire rather than chase for it. Another is Hinduism, who focused on realizing our true nature, which is that eternal Atma, or soul. In that way, we live in many lives and various identities because they believe in reincarnation. The Eastern way is more into harmony and peace, seeking connection to the universe. As the famous quote of Taoism says, "Do unto others what you want others to do unto you." And adding up Confucianism, the purpose of existence is to create an ideal society which will achieve harmony between people and heaven. Society should be first, not the individual. Now, we could say that most meditative traditions are originated in the East. Meditations are commonly used to relieve stress and to reach nirvana, or the total peace of mind.
So the next one is the Western concept of the self. Now, I will show you different Western philosophers and their concept about the self. The first one is René Descartes.
René Descartes was a French 17th century philosopher, famous above all for saying, "I think, therefore I am," but worthy of our attention for many reasons beyond this. What makes him stand out is that he was a fierce rationalist. In an age when many philosophers still backed up their arguments with appeals to God, Descartes trusted in nothing more than the human power of logic.
So now let's proceed to what's René Descartes' concept of the self. So René Descartes believes that the self represents something, which belongs to the thinking substance as an intuitive beginning of rational cognition, emphasizing its independence. In short, the self can be correctly considered as either a mind or a human being. So the next philosopher that I will show you is Sigmund Freud and his psychoanalytic theory of the self.
This is a thinker who helps us understand why our lives and relationships are full of so much confusion and pain. He tells us why life is hard and how to cope. His own life incurred a lot of anxieties. Sigmund Shlomo Freud was born to a middle-class Jewish family in 1856. His professional life was not an immediate success. As a medical student, he dissected hundreds of eels in an unsuccessful attempt to locate their reproductive organs. He promoted cocaine as a medical drug, but it turned out to be a dangerous and addictive idea. A few years later, he founded the discipline that would ultimately make his name, a new psychological medicine he called psychoanalysis. The landmark study was his 1900 book, The Interpretation of Dreams. Many others followed. Despite his success, he was often unhappy. During some particularly strenuous research, he recorded, "The chief patient I am preoccupied with is myself." He was convinced he would die between 61 and 62 and had great phobias about those numbers, although he actually died much later at the age of 83. Perhaps because of his frustrations, Freud achieved a series of deep insights into the sources of human unhappiness.
So Sigmund Freud's concept of the self is that the self was a submersion of the ego in the ID, and a distorted perception of the individual of his societal essence as a result of the control exerted on it by the enraged super ego. So I hope you all guys learned something from this short video. Again, this is Paul Kagiwa and my partner Jamaica Kanja. Thank you for watching.